Okay. I want to share something this evening that I spent a lot of time working on last night. And if I can get on down here where it is. It's been a lot of questions concerning genealogy. And I'm going to skip ahead. I'll go back and I'll cover it again, but at a later time. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I wanted to share this with you. I finally learned how to do it. And I want to share this with you. And it may be easier, let's put it this way, to put things in perspective. Okay? And I have just learned how to do this with a PowerPoint. And to be honest about it, I was very excited.
It's cool when you figure out something else.
Isn't it? Yes, it is.
Use it.
That is right. And it don't have to do it in hard copy anymore, paper. You know what I mean? And excuse me. Now there's some notes that I have to write down and then refer to as I'm building this thing. But anyway, I want to look at some genealogy. I'm jumping ahead. I'll go back in a later session and pick up where I stopped the other night on our study of Bible characters. But I want to jump ahead a little bit. Now, the reason I do that, I want to show it off. Okay. Yeah. I want to show it off and talk about it and discuss it and see what you think. This is not a completed project as yet, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. And you may see some things that might surprise you too. So, without further ado, a line, 2 lines. Well, that's a beginning. We're going to talk about Adam for a moment. Adam was created. Okay. And when understand that? That is the video. It will be considerably slower. As I'm looking on it here, it's big delay in the, yeah. Yeah, so understand that. So, all right, so Adam was created, and we do not know when Cain was born. Okay? Somewhere in there.
Before 130.
Before 130. That is correct. Before 130 years. Right? I like little arrows, too, that point to where it's supposed to be. All right, so I have set no date for this, okay? Because I have no idea when Cain was born. I have no idea when Abel was born. Okay, so I have arbitrarily set another line there for him. All right. Cain was the firstborn. At least that's what we suspect. Were they twins? Probably not. But Cain was, well, in fact, I'm sure that they were not. Were they pretty close together? Probably. Probably. So I have no idea when Abel was born. Don't know when Cain was born, but we'll pick a place. Okay? All right? Then we have Abel killed. All right? So Abel is taken completely out of the picture now. Well, the Bible tells us that Adam was 130 years old when Seth was born. Right? So there's Seth born. The Bible says that Seth was 105 years old when who was born? Enos. Okay. Then Enos was 90 years old when his son was born, and that's Canaan. Canaan was 70 years old when his son was born. Yeah, well, just wait. When his son, Mahaliel, was born. Okay. So, any questions on that? Now, you see, nobody's died yet. All right?
Abel's wasn't natural. His was murder.
Well, yes, except for Abel. Yep.
That's crazy to get to see your great-great-grandkids born.
Gets even better. See, this sort of begins to put it into perspective. And I have another list that I can make, and that I'm going to make, that I'm going to put in here eventually, that will show you maybe help to, even more to understand. If you go down here, and you start here with Adam, when Adam was created, all right? And let's say that is year one. Now, I know that that's not the way that it's calculated. I know that time is BC, okay? And it goes down. For all practical purposes, Adam was created in 4004 BC. All right. Now if you take calculations and you go both directions, it's not going to match up. Okay, I can tell you that. I've tried. It's not going to match up.
Why?
I do not know why. If you go back up here to Adam, all right, and you start with Adam, and say that is, and if we say that that's 4004 BC, and then we go down doesn't match. Okay? If you go to the birth of Christ, you factor in the little differences there, and then you go back, they don't match up. Theoretically, they should come together like that. Okay? They should mesh together. But they do not. They do not meet. And there is a big gap in those where they should be. So that's the reason that I always say, when you go start dealing with dates, you can never be absolutely sure. So don't ever be dogmatic about an Old Testament date. Okay? Even New Testament dates might be a little bit shaky. All right? Because our calculation of dates and times, well, not necessarily times, but dates are different now than they were then. Well, even our calculation of time, still 24 hours, but it's not figured as the Jew figured. We have looked at that. Yeah, we have looked at that in the past, and so there is a difference there. Does that account for the differences in dates? Probably.
Over thousands of years?
Yes, probably so. So the best that we can do is just guesstimate. Okay? We know the events happened. It is not so much necessary that we know exact dates that it happened. General time frame, yes. But when we come down to exact, no. But the exact is not that important. Okay? We're not going to split hairs over that. Excuse me. Okay, so you see here how that when you got Adam, okay, where'd my cursor go? There it is. Come back. Where are you? Okay, when you have Adam is created here. But you notice Adam is still living, and here is Mahalalel being born. And the only reason I know how to figure this up, because this is about 395 years. Okay? So when we get back to the fact that all of these people are still alive, now let's accept Abel, of course. And I'm not even considering Cain. I am strictly dealing in these particular charts. I'm dealing with the with Seth's lineage. You're correct. All right, so we go to the next slide, and we have an arrow. We have lines. And I picked up where I left off on the last one. Mahalalel was 65 years old when Jared was born. That was his son. Now, they may have had other children, okay? There might have been other sons and daughters. In fact, we know that there were, because that's what the Bible says. But the Bible, yes, but it's after, so many after that. Were these the firstborn? I don't know. I do not know for sure.
Theoretically, you could say yes.
Theoretically, you could say yes.
Because the firstborn is what carries the family name.
That is correct. But practically, yeah, that's another thing we can't be dogmatic about. But it would be my opinion that that would be the case. Yes.
In ancient times, even up until 100 years ago, the oldest son carried the family name, and carried the family line, unless the oldest son did something and the father just inherited the oldest son. At that point, the oldest son basically disappeared from the family.
You're correct.
The youngest and the next oldest son took over. From that point on, in their family history, that oldest son never appears again. When they did the family Bibles, that oldest son was scratched out or erased, was never put back in, and nothing ever happened. Nobody ever saw that oldest son again.
That's correct. What Jay was saying, and I know the microphone didn't pick it up, is that the normal procedure of things and those ancient families, it went by the firstborn. The family name went through the firstborn. The firstborn got the firstborn son, yes, got the inheritance. It was not until later when the Bible talks about Caleb gave his daughters an inheritance. Well, that was not a normal thing. Okay? The girls did not ordinarily inherit, but the boys did. And it was the firstborn. The firstborn got what they call the birthright. Now, if that firstborn, as Dave pointed out, did something really wrong, and he was expelled from getting the birthright, then he basically is left out in history. He no longer appears in that family's tree, because then it goes to the secondborn, and the mantle falls there. In this case, Cain blew it. That is correct. If Cain would not have killed Abel, Cain, being the firstborn, would have been the one that would have ordinarily carried the mantle, so to speak. Okay? But because he did what he did, killed his brother, all right, so that took Abel out. So Seth is the one who would be the one through the inheritance to go. All right? So, but ordinarily, could we say for sure? Now, I wouldn't be dogmatic in saying for sure that this is only the firstborn being talked about, but probably it is. Okay?
Now, were daughters not included in that because they would have husbands that would take care of them? That's why it went to the sons to take care of their family?
That is correct. Yes. Yes. Any sister that was not married was taken care of by the oldest son. Yes. It was all kept in the family, so to speak. And same thing with widowed aunts, uncles, so on. They went back to the household of the oldest son, because then that oldest son became the patriarch. Okay? It's still whichever one. Jacob and Esau were twins. Okay? But Esau was born first, and it didn't make any difference that it was just a matter of minutes. Okay? He was still the firstborn. So even with twins, there's one of them, they're both not going to come out at the same time. So the first one out, the first one to be born is going to be the firstborn. Okay? So, back to our chart. Mahaleel was 65 years old when Jared was born. So that means that Jared was the youngest. Now, the youngest one. Did they wait this long to have children, or what was the deal? I don't know. Of course, we know that Adam's case, he didn't wait. He was 130 years old when Seth was born, but he had already had 2 boys, and obviously he had to have some daughters too.
There was a lot of time between there too, because they had families to take care of. That's why they were giving their offering.
Yes, that is correct. All right. So anyway, Jared was born. Well, Jared, he waited quite a while. He was 162 years old before his son Enoch was born. Okay? No, that arrow's still way out in the middle of nowhere. You'll find that it serves a purpose. It'll connect eventually. All right? In fact, it'll connect pretty quick here. So Enoch was 65 when Methuselah was born. Now, nobody's died here yet except Abel. So we're way down here. When we get down here to Methuselah, okay, we get here to Methuselah, and Adam is still alive. Okay? Adam hasn't died yet.
Wow. I was going over the grapes.
Okay? Adam's still alive. And
Dad kicked the bucket for their inheritance.
Family reunion. Crazy around here. That's all I got to say.
Right? No, they didn't have to have family reunions.
they all lived there.
It's time to go. I would tell my kids this time to go. Grandkids, great. I don't care. Go.
Methuselah waited even longer. Methuselah was 187 years old
I wanted to enjoy life a little.
when his son, and guess who his son was? Lamech.
There was 2 Lamechs.
There was 2 Lamechs. There was a Lamech in Seth's line. There was a Lamech in Cain's line. And you'll find a lot of similarities in the names between the 2 lines. Okay? Lamech, carry a little step. Now, look what happens here.
I don't know. Kicked the bucket.
In the midst of this, right after Lamech was born, or Lamech, however you want to say it, Adam died. 930 years old. Now then, if there was some question about the way things should have been when we get to the time when Lamech is born, well, grandpa Adam is still around. Let's check with him. Okay. Hang on.
It's coming.
Hang on. All right. This is going to get pretty crowded before it's over. Okay? So right after Lamech is born, Adam dies. Okay? But then look what happens. Lamech was 182 before Noah.
Wait, but when did sin come in the world? Because Adam wouldn't have died if there was sin. So
Sin came into the world when Adam sinned. In the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. Way back, before any of these ever came about.
The only time we know of is when Seth was born. Adam was 130 years old when Seth was born. Until that point, we don't know the time frame. Get your Bible out. Look next.
Okay. Now watch what happens. It begins to pile up here. No. Enoch was translated. And he was 365 years old. He was translated. In other words, he did not die.
He was taken.
He was taken. Yes. He was taken. Only two, the Bible records of two men that did not die a physical death. They were taken. Enoch and Elijah.
No, he's over at Dory's. He's still here.
Okay? So at 365 years old, Enoch was translated.
It says all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
He walked with God and he was not.
For God took him.
He was not what?
He was no longer on the earth. All right, I'm going to cover the details.
That's the only time it's ever spoken of like that.
I'm going to cover details when I cover this. I just wanted to show you this chart. And now, okay, when we go back and we look at it, I think it'll make more sense to you. Okay? All right? Now, let's see what happens here. Somebody else has died. Seth. Seth died at 912 years old. Now see, just before Noah was born.
Seth died just before Noah was born?
That means
Seth died just before Noah was born.
Adam's third son finally died at that point.
Yes. Not too awful long after...
Before Noah.
Not too long after Adam died.
That's right.
Him daddy.
Well,
148 years between them.
Yes.
Because he was 130 when he had him.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Enos died at 905 years. Okay. Now, if you started from day one, counting day one, the day that Adam was created, and that's how you figure it. It's not when they were cast out of the garden. It's from when he was created. He said he was 130 years old. Period. You are correct. So by the time that you get down here now where Enos has died, you're getting into 10 or 1100 years from the time that Adam was created. Now, I don't have those figures. I have it figured up, but I don't have them with me on this. Now look at here. Canaan died in 910 years.
They're pretty much going in order.
They are going in order. Almost. Almost. Mahalalel died. He was 895 years old. Now look. Noah, this is quite a while after Noah, isn't it? Okay. Look again. Lamech, he died. He was 777 years old.
That's too many candles to count.
Okay, so
Definitely.
where's Jared?
Hang on.
He's still living.
He's still living.
Okay, because Enoch's gone. Lamech's gone.
Enos is gone.
Enos is gone. Mahalalel is gone. Canaan is gone. Seth is gone. Now Lamech is gone. All right.
Jared is the only one left.
Methuselah.
All right. I did not.
Methuselah is not dead.
Yeah.
Now he is.
All right. I didn't get. Okay. You are correct. I did not get Jared in there. I apologize. I did not get him. I may have that one figured, but I don't have his line in there.
He's got to be in there somewhere.
So he's in there somewhere. Yes.
I was wondering if he outlived them. That's why I was.
Methuselah is the one that outlived everybody. Okay. All of them are dead. And yeah, you're right. Jared, I missed Jared. I missed his. I have to go back and add that one. The solid yellow line that you see here indicates two different things. All right, it's a major event, the flood. But it's also the year that Methuselah died. And we'll look at this a little closer when we look at the details and we look at their genealogy a little bit more.
Lamech at 187. By that point, Jared lived 800 years after he begat Enoch. So you figure sometime
He was
between
65, so he's about 165 years old.
sometime between Mahalalel and Lamech is when Jared died.
Right in here.
65, because he said he lived 800 years after Enoch was born.
Enoch was born.
Yeah, so it'd be right in this time frame, right in here, when
Yeah, it'd be right in there.
when Jared
Uh-huh.
died. Okay. Yep.
Mahalalel was 895, and he had Jared at 65.
Yes.
So he actually, yes, he died not too long after his father.
Yeah. Yes. So his would be placed right in here in this.
Yeah, right there on the S on Enos.
Yes, right in
He
here.
didn't die too long after his father.
Right. Now, I have not calculated or set a graph up to indicate indicate, a certain thing here equals so many years. I didn't do that. But when I show you the other graph, I think you'll see that a little better as well. Now then, Noah was 500 years old when Shem and had Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Was how old?
500.
500.
Now, were they triplets? I don't know. We are not told when they were born. We're just told that they were born after Noah was 500 years old. So apparently Noah did not have, this is the one exception, Noah did not have any other children.
He had to have girls.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Flooded the world, everybody but them.
It's only recorded that he had 3 sons
And it doesn't say,
Says their wives.
and their wives.
I know, but it doesn't say that he had. All the rest of them say, and they begat sons and daughters, but
That's
correcting
creepy.
myself about
To
it.
make a baby with your own mother?
No.
They took their wives with them on the ark. The sons took their wives. That's what I had forgotten. That's what I was saying. They had to have, because once they flooded the earth, but then I remember it says in their wives.
All right. Then we see this. This is also the year of the flood. Now, Methuselah's name indicates something along that line, and we'll study that, like I said, when we go back and look at the genealogy. Now, does that help put things in perspective?
Mm-hmm.
When you get down here to Noah, all right, there's still a lot of these old guys still living.
Mm-hmm. All but Adam.
Mm-hmm.
He died right before he was born.
Adam died right before he was born, and Seth died right before he was born. And Enoch was translated. So there were only 3 of them gone when Noah was born. Okay? Yeah, those old guys were still around.
That's crazy.
But when you think about what Adam was taught by God and the knowledge that Adam had, he had to pass it down to his sons and his grandsons. Okay? So by the time you get down here to Noah, if something was in question, well, let's see, who's the oldest here? We'll go back and we'll ask him. Okay?
Would have been Enos.
And that would have been Enos. Yes. Enos was the next one that died. Methuselah is the longest living one, but he died the year the flood came. You notice Lamech died not too long before that.
He was the youngest.
Yes,
Besides Enoch being translated.
you are correct.
Physically died, he was the youngest.
And so Noah, the Bible says that Noah was 600 years old when the flood came. Now you go back, now that's when the flood took place, when Noah was 600 years old. Now, so between, let me get my pointer over here. So between right here and here is 600 years. Okay? You got 600 years. Come back, wherever you are. All right? 600 years from here to here. Now, it took Noah 120 years to build the ark. So when you back up a little bit,
That means he was building it before his sons were born.
quite possibly, yes. Yes.
What does it say how long it took him to build the ark?
Going over chapter 2 over in Genesis.
Chapter 6, I'm looking.
Two.
Chapter 6.
Going into chapter 7.
Somewhere in there it says that Noah was 120 years in building the ark.
It just said in chapter 7, verse 6, and Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. somewhere you're going to find a figure of 120 years. I know it's there. I don't remember the exact
I don't either. I've always
reference.
heard it, but
The New Testament calls Noah a preacher of righteousness. The Bible indicates that no one believed Noah that there was going to be a flood. The reason is it had never rained. They didn't know what rain was. Okay. The Bible says that the earth was watered with dew at that time. Heavy dew. All right. In the South, I've seen many times that the dew would be so heavy that you could walk out in the woods or somewhere.
Doesn't say anything about 120 years.
It's there somewhere. Maybe it's over in the New Testament, but
Maybe in the New Testament.
but it was
Noah was 500 years old, and he begat Shem and Japheth. And then it says Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And then it said he was 601 when it ended.
yes.
So
The flood and then the drying up
well, everything
was
101 years old. It was over. 601. So
right.
it doesn't say anything about him building the ark for 120 years.
Okay, what did you say it said about? You said in Noah 120 years.
And building the ark, yes. That might be referenced in the New Testament. I thought it was in there in Genesis, but maybe it's not.
now the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. So he wasn't.
But then it was even longer before they were able to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had to wait for the land to dry after the waters were gone.
Oh, so it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, but it took 150 days for it to go away.
Yes. So things were getting pretty bad in this time frame. All right. Now, did Noah build the ark by himself? No.
He was probably like the head construction worker.
Did he hire some of the work to be done? Quite possibly. Did he have some of his family around? Probably.
Did his family go out?
Well, not all of them.
I mean, it was
Because
hard to believe that.
he it's pretty evident from the scriptures that even his family, members of his family, did not believe him, because it was only Noah and his 3 sons and their wives and Noah's wife that were on the ark.
But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee.
Yes. So we'll look at more that when we study Noah in our character studies. We'll be looking at Noah quite a bit. Some of these other fellows, there's not a whole lot to say about them. So we will take them all in one lump sum, so to speak, from Probably Enoch, we'll look at him.
Got it.
Pretty close. Okay.
Genesis 6:3. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. Yet days shall be 120 years.
There we go.
All right. That's it.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 3.
Genesis 6:3. 120 years. And that's when God was giving instructions to Noah to build the ark.
Yes, as in the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Then he goes on to explain the ark. Is that where he's given the ark, the plans of the ark to Noah?
No.
3-7.
Well, it starts
says
talking
in
about.
verse 1, it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all that they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men which are of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man with whom I created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. But it doesn't say anything about being 120 years to build the ark. He said that man was only going to live for 120 years.
At that point,
That's when he flooded the earth, 120 years later.
120 years
Yeah,
later.
after that. So he had 120 years to build the ark, because here's the timeline of it. Look. You look right here, there's the timeline, the years into the flood. And the sons were born. Each son was old enough to be married before construction of the ark began.
What do you have there?
But that doesn't.
It's a website, answeringgenesis.org.
That doesn't make sense though.
Why not?
Because if he had 120 years to build the ark, according to this, if God gave him 120 years to build the ark, why does it say that he was 500 years when he had his sons? And then it says he was 600 when the ark. But it's this saying that they were old
He was
enough.
500 years old when he had his first son.
All right, I'm switching over to you so we can see that.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
You can't see it there. Can you see it on your screen?
You should be a way of getting it on the screen up here.
No, there's not.
There's not? Okay.
Maybe there is.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see this.
Oh, drag it over and put it.
Okay, so I'll take this.
Oh, no, it's Mama. She says she sees it.
I was just trying to move it over to where.
Okay, enlarge it.
There you go. Now
Okay.
That's how you do it.
This will leave it this one too. It gives you the Bible references that goes with it.
Yes.
So you know when it was wrote. When it was wrote.
See that?
It's hard to make
it's
it
hard
out.
to make it out.
Yep.
And,
But,
here.
So what website is that you have there?
It's answeringgenesis.org.
Answeringgenesis.org. Okay. All right.
Back on you now.
Yeah, back here again.
I can read it fine.
Okay. Glad she could. We couldn't. All right. So we're back at the screen again on our genealogy chart. So that was interesting.
You're still on me.
I'm still on you. Okay. Transfer it back, please.
Back to you.
Back to me. Okay. All right. Back to me. I'm back again. Okay. There we go. It helps to have 2 or 3 computers going
That's
going on this. All right. Any questions concerning what we've covered in these 2 charts? When I give you the other, I will, the next time we look at Bible characters, I will give you when I started with Adam, the first year. And time you get down here to where the flood began, you're going to be a little surprised how long it took. How many years?
It was almost 2,000 years. 1,500 at least.
That's why
Let's say you got 930 right there,
No, you have
and
970.
no, we have 930 when Adam
That
died.
blood died. No,
No.
it's 69.
I know, 930 is Adam, and then you figure Methuselah lived 969. So you didn't have a whole lot of time there between Methuselah being born and
Adam dying.
no, I'm sorry, Lamech being born. Lamech being born.
But Methuselah lived a lot.
I know, but look, when Lamech was born, Methuselah was 187. So you figure 969 minus 187.
You got about
something years.
You got about 1,600 years.
Mm-hmm. Just right there.
1,696 years, I think it was. I don't remember the exact figures, but it's not quite 2,000 years. Close, but not quite 2,000. All right. Any other questions on this chart? Okay. Well, we will be dismissed.